Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at RKLB. It is time for another update, and on this chart we are tracking this extension within the wave 5, and previously we were looking here for a potential 5-wave move to the upside to complete within this structure, but since we managed to extend higher, in the previous video we were looking for this to be an actual extension where we would now need to consider the third wave top to be all the way up here, and the data supports this by allowing us to see that the correction within the wave 4 has perfectly reached the area of support before starting this reversal that we can now track in at least another 5-wave move to the upside within this area, and then it is possible for us to form a more significant top within this entire 5-wave move sooner rather than later, meaning that we don't realistically need to form a very large extension. Something like a 5-wave move to the upside within this area would be plenty to go by, but it is realistically also possible for something along the lines of this yellow interpretation to play out, in the idea that this would be only a wave 1 to the upside. We would then expect a wave 2 correction and still a third, fourth and a fifth to build the larger structure. Although once we actually form this more significant top, we would have to be prepared for quite a large correction, because this would constitute a larger wave 1 and we would expect a correction within a wave 2. Now again, if we only form this 5-wave move to the upside, I will be looking here for an internal 3-wave correction within the area of support for the yellow scenario, but we will be able and basically required to consider that this could be a significant top and that a much larger correction could be in play. Now, with that said, within this area, we are tracking a couple of scenarios. So, in the previous video, I did provide you these ideas in orange and white, where in the orange interpretation, we are tracking a larger diagonal structure. Now, this could work out within both the yellow and the blue wave 5. And then this would be something like a 1-2 setup, and a third wave would be expected to form within this area. Although with the latest developments where we actually formed an additional high in this area, I am even able to consider that this has formed already the wave 3 top. We have a possible complete structure here within a 5-wave move to the upside, which allows me to consider that this wave C has indeed possibly topped, and we may need to be able to consider that a wave 4 correction has already started, and honestly, to be frank, it has possibly even finished. Also, based on the fact that within this correction in the wave 4, we did actually reach the area of support that is here between the $68 level all the way down to the $52.2 level. We got to the first level of support and we did create a more significant reaction to the upside already, where again, this could have been a wave 4 bottom and we could be in the 5th wave, but I do want to be clear, this wave C could also be extending still. And we will basically be tracking the same interpretation as we are for this wave C here in the white scenario, which is why we aren't necessarily going to focus on that in the orange interpretation as well, or realistically even within another scenario. And I want to bring it back again to the previous video when we were actually looking still for further extensions higher, and we had here some areas of support that we were tracking for continuation within this structure, and I can actually consider that with this additional latest push to the upside, we may have formed a more significant top within the wave 3 and that we are now able to track the wave 4 correction. Well, in such a case, I will now adjust the area of support and the actual count for this structure, and we can even remove here the smaller time frame, but we are now looking for a wave 4 correction into the area between the $72.5 level all the way down to the $65 level, where so far we have pushed into the 38.2% retracement before starting this more significant reaction to the upside. And while in the white interpretation we are at the moment tracking here an internal 1-2 setup, I do want to make it clear it is possible for this structure to be a singular wave 1 to the upside, to have here a wave 2 correction and the third wave actually unfold. This is perfectly possible, although the proportions of the internal wave 3 would actually throw us off a bit already unless we form a very bullish movement right now to the upside. And also the ideal target would be required basically to be here at the $103 level, the $103.4 level at the 138.2% extension of the wave 1, in which case this would need to be quite a substantial move, which would actually require or could allow even further extensions higher, and yeah, it would have bullish implications, but it is also not necessarily the highest probability interpretation. And even then, even if it doesn't get there, we can still track here internal areas of support for a wave 4 correction for an internal wave 3 to the upside, where realistically this could work out as a series of 1-2 setups as well. Now, with this said, this Fibonacci extensions that we are tracking can also provide us some hints for the overall wave C, because the ideal target for such a movement, in the ABC structure in yellow, or not yellow, in orange, would be the $85.9 level at the 100% extension. And certainly we don't need to get there, but we also don't need to stop there. And I want to point out that yes, even within this structure, we can see extensions higher, and then we can still look for a larger correction within the wave 4. And as you may notice, there is a common theme running around on this chart, and that is basically that we still need to track continuation higher. We still need to be tracking areas of support, and we will need to continue to do so as long as we manage to hold them and continue higher, for us to actually make a clear and more real top, let's say, a top that we can be more confident in, we actually need to see a break below certain levels of support, for now being the 50% retracement here for the white interpretation, the $65 level, and for the orange scenario, the $52.2 level. But yeah, the main idea remains that we need to continue to look for higher highs on this chart as long as we get them and we don't fail to hold the areas of support. And right now, the only thing that I can really provide you in addition to this structure, to this data that we have here on this chart, or with this data, is the area of resistance that we need to be watching out for a potential larger correction, something like a larger ABC movement, in which case we are looking here at the green resistance area between the $71.7 all the way up to the $77 level. Although this structure does look promising and it may have placed a bottom already in place in multiple scenarios, we actually have 3 scenarios that can allow such a structure, such a bottom to be in place. All of them also allow a larger extension within this correction, which we are and which we will be tracking here in the green scenario. And to make a quick summary, we are looking here at a possible completion of the larger wave 3 in orange and the larger correction in the wave 4 to have already started. And then if we get something like an ABC structure within the wave 5, we have a complete 5-wave structure to the upside, possibly completing the larger wave 5 in blue, or even the wave 1 in yellow. And then we are looking still for further continuation overall higher in all patterns that we are tracking here on this chart, as long as we manage to hold the areas of support. And even if we form additional highs, we will be tracking additional areas of support. And for the white interpretation, we have a couple of ways we can track continuation higher. What we have on the chart is a more short-term realistic expectation, but on the long term, it would be a quite bullish scenario in both ideas, whether this is a 1-2 setup or this entire movement is a 1-2 setup. In the end, we will be looking for considerable extensions higher. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. And of course, a break here above the 78.6% retracement in green would be a signal that this structure is likely going to extend in a more direct fashion. But for now, this is it. Have a nice day. Bye bye.